You're sitting at your system, finishing a routine task, perhaps sipping your coffee. But suddenly, the screen flickers. You watch, paralyzed, as your cursor begins to move. On its own. Files you didn't click are opening. A payment portal you didn't navigate to is appearing. You try to move your mouse, but the system doesn't respond to your touch. You try to shut it down, but the start menu is disabled. You are no longer in control of the machine you use every day. What if someone else is operating your computer? In real time from thousands of miles away. This is the invisible takeover. This is remote access tool fraud, a silent epidemic sweeping through global corporations. In the modern corporate era, remote access tools were built for one thing: convenience. They revolutionized the way we work, allowing IT departments to solve complex technical problems instantly, regardless of where the employee is located. Tools like TeamViewer, AnyDesk, and Zoho became the lifelines of global productivity, especially during the sudden shift to remote work in 2020. They were designed to be symbols of support and efficiency, a digital bridge between expert help and the employees who need it to keep the wheels of industry turning. They are essential, legitimate, and deeply integrated into our digital DNA. But every bridge can be crossed from both sides. In the wrong hands, these powerful tools of convenience become weapons of mass deception. For an attacker, a remote access tool is a master key, a way to bypass sophisticated firewalls, skip multi-factor authentication, and sit directly in the driver's seat of a corporate system. It's not just about stealing data through a back door. It's about walking through the front door using the employee's own identity. It's about becoming you. This is the hidden danger lurking behind the software we've learned to trust without question. A wolf in sheep's clothing, waiting for the right moment. It usually begins with a simple phone call or an urgent email. Hello, this is Rahul from the IT security desk. We've detected a critical vulnerability on your system, and we need to patch it immediately to prevent a massive data breach. The voice is calm, professional, and authoritative. They use the right terminology. They reference real company departments, and they create a sense of manufactured crisis. I just need you to download a quick support tool so I can secure your workstation before the malware spreads, they say. And in that moment of manufactured urgency, the psychological trap is set. They aren't hacking your computer. They are hacking your helpfulness. The employee, wanting to be a responsible and compliant member of the team, clicks the link. It's a small download, hardly a few megabytes. It seems harmless, perhaps even identical to the software they used last month for a legitimate printer issue. But this is the pivot point of the entire fraud. By downloading and running that executable, the employee is essentially handing over the keys to the castle. They believe they are fixing a problem, but in reality, they are manually bypassing every sophisticated security layer the company has spent millions to build. A small download, with massive, silent, and irreversible consequences. Now just give me the 9-digit code on your screen so I can start the patch, the voice on the phone instructs. The employee, trusting the authority of Rahul, complies. A final prompt appears. Grant permission. 1 click. That's all it takes. In that single second, the digital sovereignty of the employee evaporates. The attacker now has a live, encrypted tunnel into the heart of the corporate network, operating with the full privileges of a trusted user. The door is wide open. The security guards are asleep, and the intruder is already sitting at the desk. The shift in power is absolute. This is where the nightmare becomes reality. The attacker doesn't always act immediately. They might wait for the employee to step away or go to lunch. With silent control, they browse through internal directories, looking for the most sensitive files. They see everything the employee sees, every personal email, every confidential document, every internal Slack or Teams chat. They are a ghost in the machine, operating with the stealth of a shadow in a dark alley. To the network, these actions look completely legitimate because they are originating from a trusted device within the perimeter. The betrayal is digital and absolute. The attacker's next move is the most critical part of their reconnaissance: credential capture. They might use a hidden keylogger or simply watch as the employee logs into internal banking portals, ERP systems, or CRM databases later in the day. Passwords, secret questions, and even multi-factor codes are recorded in real time as they are typed. There is no access denied message. No alarm bells ring in the security center. The attacker is simply harvesting the digital identity of the employee, preparing for the final phase of the operation. Suspicion is the enemy, and they are masters of staying beneath the radar. Now, the heist begins. Using the captured credentials, the attacker initiates a high-value financial transaction. Because they are operating through the employee's own computer, the bank's security systems see a known device, a known browser, and a known IP address. The fraud looks like a standard everyday business operation. Within minutes, hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars, are transferred to untraceable accounts across the globe. By the time the finance department realizes the funds are missing during a reconciliation, the attacker has already vanished, leaving no digital fingerprints that don't point back to the innocent employee. But money isn't the only target in this digital heist. Confidential data, trade secrets, customer lists, and strategic product roadmaps are exfiltrated silently. This isn't just a loss of cash. It's a loss of the company's competitive advantage and its hard-earned reputation. The exposure can be staggering, often exceeding $12.5 million in direct financial and reputational damage. In the dark web markets, this data will be sold to the highest bidder, while the company is left picking up the pieces of a shattered security perimeter. The cost of one accept click is far higher than anyone imagined. Why is this fraud so successful? It exploits the trusted employee trap. In modern cybersecurity, we've spent billions securing the walls, but we often forget to monitor what happens inside them. The attacker doesn't need to break the lock if they can convince the person with the key to let them in. They play on the psychology of trust and the desire to be helpful. The very thing that makes a company a great place to work, the trust between colleagues, is the very thing these fraudsters weaponize. It's a psychological twist where your best trait becomes your biggest liability. Your willingness to help is the weapon. Why does detection fail so often? Because the attacker is wearing a perfect mask of legitimacy. Most security tools are designed to keep outsiders out by looking for anomalies. But when an attacker uses a remote access tool, they aren't breaking in, they are already in. The system logs show a valid login from a valid employee. To the Security Operations Center, it looks like a hardworking staff member is just doing their job late at night or during a weekend. The mask is perfect, and the deception is complete. The system is designed to trust the user, and that trust is precisely what is being exploited. The enemy is already inside, and they have your name. The most tragic element of this fraud is the employee's total and utter unawareness. They go home, they spend time with their family, they sleep, and they return to work the next day, entirely oblivious to the fact that their digital identity was hijacked and their company's future was put at risk. They believe they were helped by a friendly IT guy named Rahul. By the time the accounting department flags a multi-million-dollar anomaly or a client reports a massive data leak, weeks may have passed. The trail has gone cold, the offshore accounts are empty, and the damage is permanent. The silence of the machine is the attacker's greatest ally, a silence that costs everything. When the smoke clears, the forensic audit begins. Teams of investigators, often certified as CFE or CIA, descend on the system to pick apart the digital wreckage. They look for the red flags the automated systems missed, the subtle accounting anomalies, the unauthorized software remnants, the hidden command and control servers. Recovery isn't just about restoring data, it's about rebuilding the culture of trust that was so expertly exploited. It takes months, sometimes years, to patch the psychological and technical holes left by a single remote access intrusion. The path to recovery is paved with hard lessons and the cold reality of a compromised perimeter. It is a slow, expensive process of regaining what was lost in a heartbeat, but there are always signals. Red flags that something is fundamentally wrong, an unexpected download you didn't initiate, A sudden, inexplicable lag in system performance. A cursor that seems to have a mind of its own, twitching or clicking while you aren't touching the mouse. Or perhaps an unsolicited request for remote access from someone claiming to be from support when you never opened a ticket. These are the moments where awareness can stop an attack in its tracks. In the high-stakes world of corporate security, your intuition is often the very last line of defense. Listen to it. It's trying to tell you that you aren't alone on your computer. The core lesson is simple but profound. Access is control. And in a digital world, control must never be given away blindly or out of a sense of urgency. Verify every request. Call the IT department back on a known official number from the company directory. Never, ever download software at the request of an unsolicited caller, no matter how helpful or authoritative they sound. By pausing for just 10 seconds to verify, you can save your company millions and protect your own professional integrity. Vigilance isn't just an IT policy, it's a personal responsibility. You are the gatekeeper of the network. The shield starts with you. Always verify before you trust. As technology evolves, so do the methods of deception. We are now entering the era of AI-driven remote attacks, where the voices on the phone sound more real and the fake portals look more authentic than anything we've seen before. The tools of the future are already being tested by the fraudsters of today, looking for the next accept click. The question isn't whether you or your company will be targeted, but whether you will be ready when the screen in front of you is no longer yours. Stay alert, stay secure. Because in the digital shadows, the investigation never truly ends. The next takeover could be just one click away. If this video opened your eyes, like, share, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Corporate Secrets.